Want to keep a character's face locked in the center like this, even when they move across the frame? In this tutorial, I'll show you 3 different ways to face track in After Effects. The first gives a smooth automatic result, the second is faster, and the third is a manual method for clips where automatic tracking fails. Let's start with the first method. Import your clip into After Effects and trim the exact section you want. My original clip is 23.976 frames per second. For this method, I am converting the clip to 120 frames per second before tracking. Add it to the render queue and export it with these settings. Now open Flowframes and import the rendered clip. Set the output to 120 frames per second and export in MOV with ProRes 4444. I already made a complete Flowframes tutorial. You can watch that tutorial for a full explanation of these settings. Once it is finished, create a new composition with these settings. Import the 120 frames per second clip back into After Effects. Create a new composition with these settings. Scale and position the clip until the character is framed properly. You can enable the grid to choose exactly where you want the face to stay. Pick one point, such as a center between the eyes, and use it as your reference. Open the tracker panel. If it's not showing in your workspace, you can go to the window panel and enable it. Now double-click the footage layer so it opens in the layer panel and click Stabilize Motion. We only need position, so leave rotation and scale disabled. Place the tracking point on a clear facial detail. I'm using the nose because it has a visible shape and enough contrast. The small inner box is the feature region. Keep it tight around the detail you want After Effects to follow. The larger outer box is the search region. Make it large enough to cover the movement between frames, but not unnecessarily large. Open Tracker Options. Now go to Options and copy my changes. Click Analyze Forward and watch the tracking point carefully. If it jumps away from the face, stop the analysis, place it back on the correct detail, and continue from that frame. When the tracking is finished, click Apply and select both X and Y. Then select all of these tracking keyframes and press F9 to easy ease them for smoother results. After Effects will use the tracking data to stabilize the footage and keep the selected facial detail in approximately the same position. You may see empty edges when the layer moves. Search for motion tile and apply it to the clip. Set output width and output height to 200, then enable mirror edges. Now preview the result. The face stays centered and the movement looks much smoother. To deal with this mirrored head, we can play with the position settings a little bit. Sometimes one tracking point will not work for the complete clip. This can happen when the face turns, becomes blurry, goes behind another object, or loses contrast. Instead of forcing it, reset the tracker or create another tracker and choose a different facial detail. Try the bridge of the nose, an eye, an eyebrow, or another sharp edge that stays visible. Luminance works well here because of the brightness contrast, but RGB or saturation may work better for a different clip. For larger movements, increase the outer search region. Keep the inner feature region focused on one detail. When the head turns and that detail changes completely, stop, reposition the tracker and continue. If you guys don't want to face these black edges, I also have a solution for that. First, do everything the same way we did previously. But at the end, instead of choosing both X and Y, choose only X. This way you will have the face centered without facing those black edges. Now let's move to the second method. This uses the same automatic stabilization, but we track the original frame rate clip before converting it to 120 frames per second. This is much faster. My 5-second original clip has around 122 frames, while the 120 frames per second version has around 600 frames. So After Effects has far fewer frames to analyze. Import the original clip and create a 1080 by 1200 composition while keeping its original 23.976 frame rate. Scale it to fit to composition size. Open the tracker panel, choose Stabilize Motion, and track a clear point on the face using the same settings. Analyze the clip, correct the point whenever it moves away, and apply the tracking data to X only. Add motion tile if you apply the tracking data to both X and Y. Once the original clip is fully tracked, render it. Import that stabilized render into Flowframes and convert it to 120 frames per second. For most clips, this is the method I recommend because it saves time and still gives a smooth result. Now I'll show you the third method, manual face tracking. This is useful when the automatic tracker keeps failing because of motion blur, head turns, objects covering the face, or low quality footage. Create your vertical composition and enable the grid. Choose one grid intersection where you want the face to remain. Select the footage layer and press P to open position. At the beginning, move the layer until the face is aligned with your reference point and create the first position keyframe. Move forward through the clip. Whenever the face changes position, move the layer so the same facial point returns to your reference. After Effects will automatically create another position keyframe. You do not need a keyframe on every frame. Add them when the movement changes direction or the face starts moving away. For fast movement, use smaller steps and more keyframes. For slow movement, leave more space between them. Play the clip from the beginning and look for sudden jumps. Add extra keyframes in those areas and adjust the position until the movement looks natural. You can render the manually tracked clip and convert it to 120 frames per second afterward for a smoother result. So these are the three methods. Use the first method for detailed tracking on already interpolated footage. Use the second method for a faster automatic workflow. And use the manual method for difficult clips. Do not overstabilize the footage. Keep a little natural movement. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe for more After Effects, quality and editing tutorials.